Hi, Linda. I'm sorry I stepped away.
Oh, that's all right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great, doing well. Well, it is 4. I'll go ahead and get started. I don't like to be late. I'll start on time. But if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask.
Okay.
So good afternoon and welcome to Put Your Dreams to the Test. So this is a book by John Maxwell, and wanted to share with our entrepreneurs today. So the question is, what is your dream?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll introduce myself for those who do not know me. Linda Jordan, real estate investor, have a franchise with Home Investors of America, and also a certified coach, trainer, speaker with the John Maxwell team, in addition to being a certified life coach. Most importantly, I'm a wife, mother, and breast cancer survivor of 5 years.
Wow.
Whoops. So what is your dream? That is the question of the day. And will you achieve it in your lifetime? So for me, when I graduated from high school, my dream was to be an accountant. I'm not sure why, but that's what I really wanted to do. And went off to college, ran into some challenges with finances. And so I ended up getting a job. I said, I'll go back later. And so my dream did not get fulfilled. I ended up, of course, going back to college later in life. But sometimes, there are challenges that prohibit us from accomplishing our dreams. So the question, of course, is, will you achieve it in your lifetime? And the answer is yes, we should achieve our dreams in our lifetime. So what is a dream? It's an inspiring picture of the future that energizes us and energizes our mind, our will, and our emotions. So there are 5 reasons for not identifying your dreams. And I'll start with the first one. Discouragement from dreaming by others. I'm sure no one has experienced that, but that is the most common, probably at the top of the list. We call them dream crushers or idea killers. And that's because they don't have a dream of their own, and they don't want to see anyone else succeed with their dreams either. The second one is hindrance by past disappointments and hurt. This is a disappointment that's the gap between expectation and reality. And failure is the price we must pay for success. Thirdly is habit of settling for average. Dreams require a person to stretch, and it requires us to stretch beyond our average comfort zone. And so you can't reach for a dream and remain safely in a mediocre spot at the same time. It just doesn't work. Fourth, there's lack of confidence. Lack of confidence is needed to pursue our dreams. It takes confidence to talk about a dream, and even more to pursue it. So it just takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of passion. And sometimes confidence separates the people who dream and pursue those dreams from those who don't. And finally, the fifth one is some people lack the imagination to dream. It just happens that way. So imagination is the soil that dreams a dream, imagination is the soil that dreams a dream to life. No matter what your age is or your condition, there are still untapped possibilities within us, and new beauty awaits to be born. So it's never too late to dream. And I always tell people, doesn't matter how old you are, if you feel it, you see it, you want to do it, just take charge and go out and do it. So there are 10 steps to conquer your dreams. The first is ownership. Then there's clarity, making sure you have an understanding of where you want to go, what you want to do. The reality of it, it's a real thing. It's not made up. You got to put it into action, feel it and believe it, and turn it into reality. Most importantly for me is knowing what your passion is, and then having a pathway to get there. And then, of course, in order to really be successful, you got to have people involved. It's going to cost to make your dream come true. You must have the tenacity to be able to withstand everything. then put it into action, which is the fulfillment stage, and significance. So it has to be significant to you in doing so. So today we're just going to cover two, and that's ownership and cost. Two, most importantly. So are you living your dream, or is your dream someone else created for you? So have you ever heard the statement, you should be a millionaire, or I always thought I wanted to be a doctor? And you wanted to be a doctor because your parents wanted you to. So if any of you have ever been in that particular situation, you know, sometimes parents or family could say, you know, you should be doing this, or you should go to this college instead because it's a family school. And that was one of the things with me. My family wanted me to go to one particular college because everybody in the family had gone there. I was rebellious and I went to a different school. I just wanted to do that. So when the dream is right for the person and the person is right for the dream, the two cannot be separated from each other. So for something truly to be a dream, you need to see the possibility it represents, and you need to own it. So ownership is the first step and first vital step to fulfilling your dream. Any questions?
No, this is good.
Okay.
Well, I do have a question.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do with this. Is this part of the executive program, or is this available to everyone?
It is available. However, there are certain components that are not available to everyone.
Okay.
So you can get the book, but you don't get all of the nuts and bolts of it.
Okay.
The next thing is we're going to talk about taking ownership of your dream. So we've covered that. Let's go back here. Whoops. So there are 5 areas. Yep, here we go. 5 areas that you need to talk about or understand when it comes to ownership. So the first one is be willing to bet on yourself. You may succeed if no one else believes in you, but you will never succeed if you don't believe in yourself. And so for me, when I started my real estate business, people just looked at me like I was a little bit crazy because this was over 10 years ago. And they're like, why would you want to do that? You're going to lose money. But in my mind, I knew it was something that I was truly passionate about, and that's what I wanted to do. And so I stepped out on faith and bought my first rental property. So you have to believe in yourself and make it so, and say it positively to yourself. You know, put a sticker on your refrigerator is what I did of what my goals of what I wanted to do. And that was my dream. So I did it and I made it into reality. Lead your life instead of accepting your life. So making the right decisions and managing those decisions daily are critical. The power of choice is the greatest power that a person possesses. So we have the power to do whatever we want to do. So say it, believe it, and do it. Third is love what you do and do what you love. Successful people, those who see and seize their dreams. They love what they do and they do what they love. They allow their passion and talent to guide them. And why do we say that? That's because talent, purpose, and potential always come hand in hand together. Fourth, don't compare yourself or your dreams to other people. And I'm just as guilty as probably anyone else. I always look, oh my gosh, I should be there right now, because that's where that person is. And we shouldn't do that, because, you know, when we compare ourselves to others, you feel inferior. And then when you compare yourselves to those inferior, you feel superior. So when you stop comparing yourself with others, you do have that sense of empowerment. And success is doing the best you can with what you have wherever you start in life. And then finally, believe in your vision for the future, even when others don't understand you. You are not an accident, and you are here for a reason. So if success is not on your own terms, if it looks good to the world, but doesn't feel good in your soul, is not successful at all. The potential that exists within us is limitless and largely untapped. So when you think of limits, then you create them. So if you had no limitations, where would you be? We have to understand, what is your level of commitment? Mm-hmm. And what if you knew you couldn't fail? So if on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it would be nice to have, and 10 being I'm going to lose sleep over this at night. So if your number is less than 8, then you need to decide, is your dream a business or is it a hobby? So you have to ask yourself, what would I do if I had no limitations? Or what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? The first step in being able to answer is to take ownership of your dream and prepare to start moving forward. So as we've talked about owning your dream, another component of the test of the dream is the cost. And of course, as we know, nothing is free. But when it comes to cost, we're not just going to talk in dollars and cents. We're going to talk about other costs that can be affected in your dream. So what have we learned about, when we make sacrifices? There are sacrifices in our life in different areas. And so we have to think about that. So again, the dream is free, but the journey is not. The price must be paid sooner than you think. So when we go back to if the dream is free, but the journey isn't, at some point, we have to recognize that we need to make a transition from believing what we really want to do in life to the buyer of the dream. So no dream comes true without somebody paying for it. Doesn't matter what it is. If you say, I dream that I want to buy, I want a new car. Well, it's going to cost someone. Even if you say, I dream I want to go to the movies, there's a cost. So regardless of whatever it is, there's always a cost to get something for that. And the price must be paid sooner than you think. Dream believers are in abundance, but dream buyers are rare. And when it comes to starting a business, unfortunately, sometimes people can't really start their business, which is their dream, because they don't have the capital to get going. And it is unfortunate that sometimes capital can prohibit someone's dreams. But nowadays, there's so many different opportunities out there with angel investors that are able to help people get to that dream that they really want to have. So the price will be higher than you expect. And unfortunately, that's generally the case. Never once in my conversation with successful people have I heard the words, getting to the top was much easier than I anticipated, because it just isn't. The price must be paid more than once. The statement used to describe this process is, you've got to give up to go up. And sometimes it hurts a little bit. And my mom always said, when you're in church, you're supposed to give till it hurts. So if you only got $10 in your purse, then you need to give some of that 10 enough so it hurts, and you will always get yours in return. That's the way that she brought me up, and that's what I truly still believe. You have to give till it hurts, and then you will get yours back in the end. And then finally, is it possible to pay too much for your dream? If you ruin your health or sacrifice your family, even though you achieve your dream, you won't be able to enjoy it, because family is important. And so, don't sacrifice those non-dollars items because you want to get to a certain point. So types of costs are time with family and friends, dealing with criticism from other people that don't really understand your dream. And everybody's not going to understand your dream as long as you understand it, because it's your dream. Other costs are price, and then price from overcoming the fear, which is so, so great. Because a lot of times we don't jump forward because we have a fear of failing or fear of falling, and we don't want people to see us at that stage. And then the price of hard work. So in the end, what is your dream worth? That's what you need to figure out. And you need to figure out if the answer is truly, is it about the cost? So you need to count the cost. Seek out individuals with experience in those areas that can assist you. Ask questions. Ask someone to give you information and advice about what it takes to achieve success in that particular field. And then you need to ask yourself, how much am I willing to pay for my dream? And what am I not willing to pay? So remember, some prices are too high, and that's okay. Maybe it's just not your time at that moment. So don't leave your dream to chance. You just shouldn't do that, because you don't want to ever say that I should have done something or I could have done something. If the opportunity is there, take it and go with it. So increase the odds of your dream by becoming a reality with the 10 dream test questions that's in the book, Put Your Dreams to the Test. Engage in the process with others, have discussions, and you have to, again, ask yourself, is your dream worth it? And for most of us, we'll probably say yes. I know I can honestly say that for my dream, I would do it all over again. And so, yeah, there were some sacrifices that I had to make, but I was able to overcome them. And again, I would do it all over again. So in closing, I dare you to dream. Prepare yourself for the dream. Wear the dream. It's who you are. So, when people see you, if you have something branded, of course, you physically could wear it, but have pride in what you believe in doing. Repair the dream. If there are any kinks along the way, make sure you get those resolved. And then share the dream. Tell other people about it. And that's how you get momentum going. You may connect with someone who really wants to help you, or that is an expert in that level, and they'll say, yes, this is a great idea. They'll get you going, get you motivated. So don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others so that they can help you overcome any obstacles that you may have. So in closing, it's one thing to have a dream. It's another to do things needed to achieve it. Don't leave your dream to chance. You must engage in the process. So how long it takes to achieve your dream, well, that sort of depends upon you and the amount of time you are willing to sacrifice to get that done. In addition, the amount of time will be affected by how self-aware you are, how honest you are about the strengths and weaknesses that you have in building a business, your history, and how much time and energy you've already taken to the subject in the past. And I said that because sometimes people, they've tried different things that didn't work, and they're like, I'm not gonna try that again, I'll do something else. Or they just give up on their dream altogether because they run into so many different obstacles that they just don't think that it's possible to happen. But it is possible. So, but isn't your dream worth it? If it's worth it to you, then you should proceed with getting it fulfilled. And so what I try to say, and I encourage people to say that do have a dream, is that you just have to keep constantly saying it and saying it into reality that, your dream is worth it. You're going to be successful. You're going to do whatever you plan to do. You're going to start your business. And so, I dare you to dream is my closing, to make sure that people will be able to get the tools and technology, connect with people, do whatever it is that is necessary to start the process, to get it going, so that you can be successful. And so the next step in making your dream a reality is to contact me for a 30-minute free consultation, and we'll talk about what some of your challenges are. In addition, we have what's called an Entrepreneurial Impact Report that will identify your strengths and your weaknesses and challenges. The cost for that is $25, but it also includes a debrief with me around what the report entails. And then we can talk about a pathway to you becoming an entrepreneur. in July next month. Gosh, it's hard to believe it's that soon. So I'm going to have a workshop for entrepreneurs. It's a half a day. It's $297. And so that's really going to talk about how you go from corporate to entrepreneurship in a half a day, even though you definitely won't have everything you need by half a day, but it's a start. And so I want to share that with other people. We talk about strategies, things that you need to do to prepare to jump ship, to jumpstart your blueprint of entrepreneurship. So with that, are there any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Are you DIS certified?
I am DIS certified, yes.
Okay.
Yep, so the Entrepreneur Report is a new report through JMT, what is specifically for business owners.
Okay. Now, is that for the executives as well, or is that
Yes.
available to everyone?
No, that is through club only.
Club only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How do you like being club level?
So are you in
I'm sorry, you froze up.
mentorship?
I'm sorry. Am I in mentor? No, I'm not in.
Are you in? So you must be in mentorship first to be able to be qualified for a club.
Yeah, I was asking, how do you like it?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I love it. I really do love it. I've only been in for a short period of time, and one of the things that I've already learned that's really different is that, so for an example, I had a question on a call. So with club, we have calls on 2 days of the week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And so I wasn't able to be on long enough to ask my question. So long story short, to say that I was able to pick up the phone and call the person, and we had a discussion about what my question was. And in that discussion, she provided me information that I've been searching for probably the whole COVID-19 process. And so it just kind of blew my mind when she told me some things that were available and that I had access to, and for her to take the time to spend 30+ minutes with me to kind of walk me through some of the challenges that I thought I was facing. And she was like, well, yes, there are challenges. However, did you know you had access to this? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, so it's so good. Yeah, that was worth the price just having that conversation.
Okay. Okay. So initially is how much? Is it 2,500?
Yes, 25.
25. And then how much every year after that?
I think it's $1,000.
So is that
yeah? So it'll be a total of 15 because it's 5 for mentorship and 1,000 for club.
Okay. Okay. So that's awesome. So I saw you were doing a half-day workshop. I too am doing a no, it's not a workshop. It's a conference next month.
Are you?
It's a virtual women's conference, and I decided not